What's up, everybody? This is Aristotle, and we are back with another farm today. Today, we're going to be doing a fully automatic carrot and potato farm. It's pretty cool, so let's jump into it. All right, so this is the space the farm takes up. It's 11 by 21. It's going to be staffed by 2 villagers who are going to do all of the harvesting for you. And right down here, we have everything we need to build this farm. So you're going to need 4 stacks of building blocks of your choice. You're probably going to want a lot of glass. I like a lot of glass in this. Don't use panes, though. Use full blocks. You don't want zombies on the outside of the farm being able to come into contact with the villagers on the inside. But you can use, of course, planks, spruce logs, stone, cobble, whatever you want. You also need about 4 stacks, or actually a little less than, but 4 stacks will cover you, of any kind of slab for a roof. You're going to need a stack and a half of carrots, a stack and a half of potatoes, and a hoe to get that ground ready to sow. 2 buckets of water, 2 composters, 2 glowstones. If you want to do that as lighting, you can replace these with torches. Not listed here. It's going to be about 4 torches as well, minimum. The more the better. You don't want anything spawning in this farm. So you're going to need lighting of some sort. You're going to need 2 villagers, 2 beds, 2 hopper mine carts. You're going to need 1 rail, but you're going to get it back at the end of this. 2 trap doors and 2 hoppers, and I like to put it up with 2 double chests or 4 single chests. Okay, so this build, like I said, it's pretty easy to deal with. You want to build it 3 tall, all the way around with blocks of your choice. Now, obviously, we're going to be popping villagers inside of this thing, and I always like to keep an eye on my villagers. So I'm going to take this whole thing 3 tall, and I'm going to change up my building blocks a little bit just for, aesthetics. But it's whatever you really want to use. It's all good. So I'm going to do this all the way around the circumference and then get right back to you. All right, so this is the design I'm going to use. Okay, so the center, we're going to build a wall right in the center. We're going to be leaving the middle open here, and this is where basically everything's going to go into, and we'll have a little storage room down underneath. You can build it however you want to. Just make certain you use full blocks and don't use any glass panes. Okay, now that we have our wall with a gap in the middle, we can jump on down here, and what you're going to want to do is dig 3 down. So that's 1 already done, 2, 3, and then just 2 high, and you can follow it right on out till we get to the outside here, and we'll take it 2 beyond, and then we can actually start to take it up just like this and create a little stair step. Now I'm going to want to line this just to keep it looking nice. And then, of course, I'll put some stairs going down, but obviously it's not necessary. Okay, so I made the area look pretty, just for aesthetic's sake. But if you come down below, you get this little 2 high little hallway here. And what you're going to do is you're going to come to the end, and this is where we have our hole going up here. So you need to get your chests in, and sometimes this can be a little sticky. So we're going to count 1, 2, and then 3 blocks in from the end, and we're going to place a chest, and we want to place it in a way that the handle itself is actually pointing into the wall, because what we're going to do is step back a little bit and then place the second chest that turns that into a double chest. And then from there, we're going to put a hopper that leads in and points directly into the chest, just like this. And then at this point, you're going to want to climb out, because this second part, it's a little tricky, but you can usually get it. You want to take and put a double chest by doing that. It's just easier to show you. So what that looks like, if we were to do it up here, it would look like this. We'd have a double chest with a hopper in, and then we would have a double chest that's offset just like this there. That's what we have in that little hallway, where this would be lined up with the hole. So that's what you want to accomplish down in there. It is a little tricky, but as you saw, I could do it. Your second hopper is going to go pointed directly in and come up even with the ground, just like there. All right, so for this one, it's pretty simple. We're going to need our rail, we're going to need hopper mine carts, and we're going to need our trap doors. So to start off with, you just got to shift click and pop a rail right on top of the hopper, and then you're going to place a hopper mine cart. Now you have to get and break that rail underneath, and so it takes a little bit to just boom, just like that. But you'll see the hopper minecart kind of settle in. Once you've broken that rail, you can retrieve it if you need to. It's going to be in the chest below because it's most likely got picked up by the hopper. But, you know, that's where you'll find it. It'll most likely have been picked up by the hopper and just down there in the chest below. But in this case, once it's broken, you're going to have room where you can place a trap door. And you'll notice it's not on the second block. It's on the very top of the first block, just like this. Now, once you have that in, you're going to need to shift click, place a second rail, and then pop a hopper minecart on top of that. Shift, and then so you can see under, and then just break the rail just like that. And again, that one will most likely have been picked up and you can retrieve it out of the chest later. So once that second one's broken, you take your second trap door and just set it right there. And what that's going to do is that's going to keep the villagers from knocking into the minecarts and moving them out of the way. Now for the top, just take one of your building blocks and close it off. Okay, so we're going to find the center. We're going to dig a hole. We're going to fill it with some water. We're going to use our temporary block right here, and then we're going to use that to place our composter. Then we can break it. We're going to put glowstone right on the side, or we're going to do torches and a regular building block on top, either or. And then we're going to grab our torches, and we're just going to go around and light the corners, as well as put one on the center of each wall. Whoop, not there, there, just like this. Now we're going to grab a bed, place it down right by the composter just like this, and it's time to plant our farm. The one water source block right in the middle will irrigate this entire section, which is basically a 9x9 farm. If you're going to do this a little bigger, which you can, you'll need more. You'll need to start finding new ways to add water in. But as far as this one goes, you just need that one water source block right in the middle. All right, and on this side, which is the right-hand side, I'm going to pop potatoes. Okay, and you can just wait for all of these to grow, or if you want to apply some bone meal, you can speed up the process. All right, potato side done. And we've mirrored the other side, just like this, with the lighting and the composter. So let's get the carrots in. All right, now that we have potatoes over there and carrots over here, it's quite easy. Just add your villager. You know, you can just knock out a little section and bring them in my minecart. You can even drive a boat right on in. It's pretty easy, so not too much trouble. Now, when you get a villager in here, it should take just a second or so, but they should attach to a bed, which is the first green sparkles, and then the second one should give them a profession, which is now farmer. And then once you've introduced the one and he has settled in, then you can get the other one in on the other side, and it'll be pretty quick because there won't be too much of a choice. He'll just have that bed and that workstation to deal with. Now, because these mine carts are sitting in a position where they're not on rails, as well as with the trap doors, the villagers actually think they can walk through here. So every once in a while, you will get one villager that you place on this side trying to pathfind to the workstation on the other. Don't worry about it. Just introduce one at a time and you should be good. And as you can see, they're already getting to work, which is just fine with us, but this thing needs a roof, and definitely want to put a roof on this guy. One lightning strike and you're going to find yourself with some witches and not villagers. So I'm going to get this on and then we'll come right back. All right, so it's really important that we see that this is 3 blocks high, just like this. If you only make it 2 blocks high and you leave the beds on top of the ground like that, the villagers can actually suffocate and you'll come walking out here and they'll be dead. So we don't want that. If you can or want to or need to for some reason shrink this down, you can do that by digging a hole for the bed to go into. So the bed would actually sit down lower in a hole just like that for the farm. And then you can make it too high so that when the villager wakes up, they stand on top of their bed, but they don't get smushed into the ceiling. The other thing is, even though the farmers will start working right away, they usually won't try to breed, which is actually how this farm works. This farmer will try to make a baby with the other farmer and will thereby start throwing vegetables at him. The mine carts in the middle, though, will catch them and pick them up before the other farmer can even. And this farmer will try and do the same exact thing. And so every afternoon, these two will get together and start tossing their harvests back and forth between them, and it will be collected by the minecart hoppers and then passed on down lower to our chest right here. And as you can see, every once in a while, when they harvest a vegetable right next to the hopper up at the top, it'll usually get picked up as well. So just give them a little bit of time and that chance to sleep, and we'll check in on the farm here in just a minute. All right, so night is upon us, and this one's in bed, and then you definitely want to double check that this guy's also headed to bed, which he is. All right. Okay, so it's morning, and they're up and already back to work, just like this, on both sides. When they meet in the middle, I'll show you what happens. And there you go. So you see the one villager on this side and the one villager on the other side. They'll do this throughout the day. They will come and meet up. And currently, yeah, you can see the carrots flowing in. And then we will see what's happening with the potatoes as well. So we should see those come in. So let's watch this for a second. And here come the potatoes. And they are already back at work restocking their inventories. So villagers have 8 hidden inventory slots, and so they can carry 8 stacks of carrots or potatoes as they go through, you know, picking and planting and picking and planting. And every once in a while, you will see that when they hop off their bed, they might mess up 1 or 2 of these little crops, but they tend to kind of hop off the bed at the same area on each side. You'll notice he twice landed on that same block there. So they'll only mess up usually 1, maybe 2 at the most, and that's okay. This farm can easily handle it. Now, let's say you need a lot more. Well, you can tile this up quite easily. And so instead of the slabs here at the top, which you'll save for the very top, what you'll do in the center section here, instead of this block, you'll put a hopper, and then and then you'll put 1 more right on top of that, so it's even with the ground. And then you'll take and you'll make these dirt blocks all the way around, and then do the exact same thing over and over and over again. So you could actually have this thing like 6 stories up high. It just has to be loaded to work. You don't have to AFK anywhere to keep it working. Just as long as it's loaded, it's going to work. And if you build it in the spawn chunks, it will keep working anyways. So that's fabulous. All right, so I'm going to let it run an hour, and let's see what we get. And we're back 1 hour later. Let's go see what we've got. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full stacks, almost 6 full stacks of carrots there, and another half stack of potatoes. So, you know, just kind of counting that up, what's it, 6 and just under a half, 6.5 stacks of veggies. And that's just from these 2 modules. So obviously you can stack them up high if you really need a ton. But as far as trading with villagers, and you can trade these same vegetables right on back to these same villagers too, if you want to try and do something like that. For trade potential, that's quite a few emeralds and quite a bit of experience. Hey, thanks for watching. This has been the Automatic Carrot and Potato Farm. Hope you guys enjoyed. I had a good time showing it to you. See ya.